Under the federal Lead-Based Paint Hazard Reduction Act, which of the following statement is true? Disclosing a statement must be attached to all sale contract and lease involving residential properties built prior to 1978. In 1996, the EPA and the Department of Houses and Urban Development issued final regulation known as the Lead-Based Paint Hazard Reduction Act of 1992, requiring disclosure of the presence of any known lead-based paint hazard to potential buyer or rentals. What is required for mold growth? Moisture. Mold can grow on almost any organic substance, so long as moisture, oxygen, and organic food source are present. Mold does not require light to grow. With regard to problem with property, Georgia's BRERA require that the licensee disclose what they know. In Georgia, BRERA does not require licensee to discover the problem, but licensee must disclose that of which they have knowledge of. Radon poses the greatest potential health risk to human when is trapped and concentrates in inadequately ventilated area. If radon dissipates into the atmosphere, it is not likely to cause harm. However, when radon enters building and is trapped in high concentration, often in basement with inadequate ventilation, it can cause health problems. What was used in electrical equipment and lingers in the environment for a long period of time and is suspected of causing health problems? Polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs. PCBs are often present in electrical equipment, such as transformers, fluorescence light, ballast, and hydraulic oil in older equipment. When released, they linger in the environment and are suspected to cause health problems, especially in offspring of fish exposed to PCBs. Regarding disclosure of environmental problem in Georgia, BRERA require a licensee to disclose what they know. Regarding disclose an environmental problem in Georgia, BRERA require licensees to disclose what they know. What is required under the Federal Lead-Based Paint Hazard Reduction Act? Buyer and renters must be given the pamphlet. The pamphlet, Protect Your Family from Lead in Your Home. Both buyer and renters must be given the booklet, but buyers, no renter, are permitted to conduct a risk assessment or an inspection for the presence of lead-based paint hazard. Who is not required to make the mandatory lead-based paint disclosure? Buyer's agent, paid entirely by the buyer. Sellers, lessors, and renovators are required to advise sellers of home built before 1978 and lessors of rentals built before 1978. Only a buyer agent who is paid entirely by the buyers is exempt. What act created the Innocent Landowners Immunity, a Superfund Amendment and Reauthorization Act, parenthesis, SARA? The Superfund Amendment and Reauthorization Act, SARA, clarified the obligation of lenders when it's created a concept called innocent landowner immunity. This concept recognized that in certain cases, a landowner in a chain of ownership was completely innocent of all wrongdoing and therefore should be held liable. The innocent landowner immunity clause established the criteria by which no judge, whether a person or a business, could be exempt from liability. Radon is a radioactive gas produced by the natural decay of other radioactive substance and is likely the most underestimated cause of lung cancer. Liability under the Superfund is strict, joint, and several, and retroactive. Liability under the Superfund is considered to be strict, joint, several, and retroactive. Strict liability means that the owner is responsible to the injured party without excuse. Joint and several liability means that each of the individual owner is personally responsible for the total damages. Retroactive liability means that the liability is not limited to the current owner but include people who have owned the site in the past. What is bona fide? What is brownfield? What is brownfield? Brownfield is an old industrial site probably contaminated with toxic waste, a defunct, derelict, or abandoned commercial or industrial site, often contaminated with toxic waste, also known as brownfield. Today, brownfield legislation shield innocent developer from liability for toxic waste that existed at a site prior to the purchase of a property and is encouraging the development of abandoned properties, often located in a prime real estate area. What gas pose an immediate health threat? The carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide, or the CO, is a colorless, odorless gas that occurs as byproduct of burning such a fuel as wood, oil, and natural gas. Owing to incomplete combustion, more than 30 deaths from carbon monoxide poisoning occur each year. Encapsulation is recommended to contain friable asbestos, often preferable to removal. Encapsulation is recommended for sealing off friable or disintegrating asbestos.